Manish ji?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay.
Namaskar, ma'am.
Namaskar, sir. Yeah. Just for 2 minutes and then I'll.
Should I stop? Okay.
Yes. Good evening, students. I hope you all are preparing well for the upcoming exam. That is our September 2025 examination. And today is our first batch of our live virtual revisionary class, right? LVRC for paper 5, auditing and ethics. And you must have observed that nowadays we have changed the pattern of the LVRC. Now the concepts are being taught with the help of questions. Okay. And before we proceed for the session, just in 2 minutes, I just wanted to share the initiatives of BOS taken specifically for your, like for auditing paper 5, we are having our study material, revisionary test paper, mock test paper, right? Apart from this, we are also having Saransh. Then we have our integrated case scenario booklet, wherein the reason for correct answer of the MCQ is also being given. And along with this, we are also having question bank, compilation of questions that is in the form of model test paper booklet. So whenever you want that your syllabus is over, you can help practicing in the examination condition during the, like you can sit in the examination condition for 3 hours and of course use 15 minutes for reading time also. So for 3 hours, you can sit and attempt any of the model test paper and check with the solution that will help you to analyze where you are lacking, where you need to improvise, and how we should understand the requirement of the question. So you'll be able to practice, right? Just like mock test paper. So, of course, we are scheduled with the mock test paper that is in the July end. But if before that you want to practice in the examination condition, you can refer the model test paper booklet also. So today we are having our first LVRC and you all are aware that we are having total 11 chapters. And these 11 chapters will be covered with the help of questions, practice of the questions in these LVRCs. And the beginning of the session is with chapter 1 and chapter 2 that will be taken by Ashish Behel sir. Chapter 1 is nature, objective and scope of audit and audit strategy, audit planning and audit program. So these are two chapters, right? And if you understand the importance of these two chapters, these are very, very important chapter, fundamental to the subject. And what I want to tell you is the classes are on Thursday and Saturday, right? So whatever topics are being covered today, I want you all to make your own notes. At least two questions you are writing every day so that you can have the practice, writing practice, and you can analyze the answers that whether it is commensurating with the marks, with the requirement of the question, whether the question, the answer is linked with the question. We are not going to give, we are not giving any irrelevant points, right? The question should, answer should not be so lengthy, so much in detail that we are allocating much of the time in the same. So sir will be explaining with the help of question the concepts, and if you find any difficulty that how we should write in the examination, sir will help in that also. And of course, we will also be there to guide you in case if any specific ICI related, any specific preparation related or questions related or suggested related, publication related, any specific query, you can definitely ask us. I hope you all are having installed mobile app in your mobile. If it is not, please install BOS mobile app, because when you'll be practicing in the LVRC specific questions, in case you feel that on this concept we need to work again, then you can use those recorded lectures that are available on BOS mobile app. Okay, so that you can revisit the lecture you can revise the concept and make your preparation strong. That is very, very important for the success. And don't think auditing is difficult. It is very, very simple. And each and every person in routine is doing audit. What we have done today, if we are analyzing, it is not anything else. It is the process of auditing only, right? So don't think. And now you can prepare your notes and you can revise it simultaneously so that in the examination you are not finding difficulty that how to revise in the 2 days duration. So sir will be sharing tips along with the session, right? So not taking much of the time, over to you, Ashish Behal sir, for covering chapter 1 and chapter 2. Over to you,
Thank you,
sir.
ma'am. Thank
Thank
you, ma'am. Uh, Good evening, students, and welcome to all of you in these LVRC classes. So I am C. Ashish Behel, and together we shall be revising chapter 1 and chapter 2 with the help of questions. We shall be discussing the concepts, and if still you find you are stuck up somewhere, then we can interact also on the Zoom in the end. So for the time being, whatever we shall be discussing, whatever I am requiring you, you can, or whatever your queries are, you would be sending these queries on BOS portal, uh, where designated mails are required to be sent. Do not send your queries in the Zoom chat box. Okay, is it clear, guys? So and I also hope that you are sincerely in the thick of your preparation, and you are doing preparation of all your subjects, not only of auditing, with full swing. Okay. So let us start with the chapter 1, students. So are you able to see the screen, students? Yes. Are you able to see the screens? Just send your responses on the mail and see this question. Question number 2. Now try to read this question, students. So what does the question say? The question says that M Motors Limited, it is a company, it is a automobile manufacturer, and it is engaged in manufacturing of commercial passenger and electric vehicles, and some brief description of the company is given. And then it states that Messrs. GR and Associates have been appointed as its statutory auditors for financial year 22-23, and J and K are newly appointed audit assistants in the firm and are part of an engagement team. Okay, so engagement team, you understand, students? What is engagement team? So obviously for the audit, usually there is a team which consists of the partner, senior partner, or who is responsible for that particular engagement, article clerks, and there may be paid employees. Okay, so two audit assistants are part of this firm, are part of this engagement team. However, they are confused about what such an audit tends to achieve. So it seems they have just joined the firm and they do not know much about auditing. So they perceive that audit is a guarantee against possible errors or frauds in financial statements. Do you agree with perception of both the assistants? So tell me, students, do you agree with the perception? What do we mean by perception? Perception means a viewpoint. Okay, how one is perceiving something. Yes, the two assistants believe that audit is a guarantee against possible errors or frauds in financial statements. Now read the line carefully. They think that the audit is a guarantee. Highlight this word, guarantee. They think that audit is a guarantee. So when something is a guarantee, what does it mean? Yes, guys, reply on your BOS mail. Do not send messages in chat box because it is inconvenient for me to see. Reply on your BOS mail. Yes, waiting for your responses. Yes, Sachin, you are saying disagree. Why, Sachin? Write 2, 3 words. Why do you disagree? Yes, guys, I want to make this session as interactive as possible. We are here to help you. So just writing agree or disagree won't serve the purpose. You have to write the reason also. You have to explain it. You have to justify it. Yes, Kapil and Shaina, you are writing correctly. Guarantee means absolute assurance. It means complete assurance. But as we know, as provided in SA 200, that an auditor obtains reasonable assurance. That an auditor obtains reasonable assurance. He obtains a reasonable comfort that financial statements as a whole are free from material misstatements, whether due to fraud or error. And then he expresses his opinion and he communicates this opinion to the as required in the standards on auditing. So these are the objectives of auditor in context of SA 200. So you have to write in this manner. So now second part of question is, in this context, outline objectives of independent audit in accordance with standards on auditing. So obviously you would write the question in this manner, that SA 200 states that these are the objectives of an independent auditor, and you would explain it a little bit. Look, in CA exams, you have to only write the relevant answer. You would get credit for the relevant answer. It doesn't matter whether the answer is short or you don't have to fill up the pages. Okay, so in general, as a thumb rule, you would be able to finish answer to a question, say in a 1 page or less than 1 page also, and sometimes slightly more than that, depending upon the requirement of the question. You do not have to fill um, uh, pages, just pages for a 4 or 5 marks question, because the question would be framed in such a way that you have to write relevant points, because as you know that you have to answer about 5 questions having 3 parts. Each question probably carries 14 marks weightage. So there are 3 parts, 5, 5 and 4. So obviously you have to complete the whole paper. Remember that you have to complete the paper. Only then you would be able to come out in the exam with flying colors. Okay, so this concept seems to be clear to you. All of you are writing disagree, and you are also giving the right reasons. So connected with these students, I want to ask one more thing. Tell me, what type of assurance is reasonable assurance? Now, whether it is a low level of assurance, whether it is a moderate level of assurance, or whether it is a high level of assurance. Yes, it is also there in your study material. It is related to this question. Yes, waiting for your mail, students. Yes, high level of assurance. And Vandana, you Vadya Rao, you are stating moderate level of assurance. No, it is wrong. It is not moderate level of assurance. It is high level of assurance. Remember, this is the most fundamental thing. You would see this thing repeated in many chapters. This line would be coming again and again. So try to permanently fix this line in your minds. Do not forget it, that reasonable assurance means high level of assurance. Now I would go further and ask you why it is a high level of assurance. Tell me why it is a high level of assurance. Yes, can anybody tell? Students, look, we are discussing the things. So as we are into a discussion process, our doubts automatically get removed. So this is the purpose of whole session. The purpose is not to make you indulge in some sort of rote learning, but to enhance your knowledge so that you can write well in the exams. Because if you have clarity of concepts, then you can tackle any question in the exams. So remember, students, that reasonable assurance is a high level of assurance. Now I am putting you another question: why it is a high level of assurance? Can anybody tell? Yes, Ritika, you are saying that auditor is a competent person, not completely up to the mark. It is near to. How you are going to explain it? So for understanding, I'll tell you that Ritika is writing correctly that um, auditor is a competent person, means he is professionally qualified person. He is having knowledge of all the matters relating to auditing, accountancy, and he carries out audit. He performs audit in accordance with the audit procedures as outlined in standards on auditing. So standards on auditing, that these are benchmarked with best global practices. Okay, so if an audit is conducted in accordance with such procedures, obviously the outcome which would be obtained would definitely be of high quality, and therefore we say that reasonable assurance is a high level of assurance, because the professional work, the audit has been carried out in accordance with the standards. The procedures prescribed in standards have been applied, and on the basis of these procedures audit evidence has been obtained, and on the basis of audit evidence conclusion has been arrived at, and on the basis of conclusion final opinion is given by the auditor in the audit report. Yes, is it clear to you? Yes, is it clear to you? Yes, Devraj, one question comes. There are three parts of one question: 5, 5, and 4 marks. Okay. Yes, guys. So this concept, this topic, objectives of an independent audit in accordance with SA 200, the meaning of reasonable assurance, and why it is high level of assurance. Is it clear to you? Do not forget. Would you remember it always, students? Tell me. Would you remember it always? It would help you till your final exam. Yes, students. Now we shall take another question related to this. See question number 7. Read this question. The auditor is not expected to and cannot reduce audit risk to zero, and cannot therefore obtain absolute assurance that financial statements are free from material misstatements due to fraud or error. This is because there are inherent limitations in audit. Explain. So you have understood the question. You have understood the full import, full meaning of the question, what the question is trying to convey, what the question is trying to ask. So Devraj, the paper was very easy. Probably you had not prepared well. Yes. So the auditor is not expected to and cannot reduce audit risk to zero. So tell me, you have finished the whole audit course. What is audit risk? Because students, because you, unless and until you understand the meaning of basic fundamental terms, you won't be able to do justice uh, to the questions in the exams, and you may sometimes land up writing irrelevant or wrong answer. Yes. What is the meaning of audit risk? You have read it in chapter 3. We will be doing it uh, in chapter 3, but for the time being, since it appears in this question, tell me, what do we mean by audit risk? Yes, anybody? Yes, students, can you tell what is the meaning of audit risk? Okay, then what is simply said, what is the meaning of risk? No, no, do not go by yes, Miss Mansoori, you are writing detection risk, internal risk. No, no, this is not the proper way. What is the meaning of audit risk? So clearly understand, students, there are two words. It is very simple to learn and very simple to remember. This term is formed of two words, audit and risk. Now tell me, what is the meaning of risk? Risk, we use this term in our everyday language. Risk means chance or probability of something going wrong, of something adverse happening. This is the meaning of risk. Okay, like safety risk, like financial risk, like health risk. Okay, and what is the meaning? Is so if we prefix the term, the word audit before it, so what does it convey? It conveys that the probability of audit going wrong, in simple terms, just for understanding. I'm not talking about the technical definition. So what was the objective of auditor in essay 200? To obtain reasonable assurance that financial statements as a whole are free from material misstatements and to give opinion. Okay, so if auditor lands up giving inappropriate opinion, it means that there is a probability that the audit does not achieve its purpose, doesn't achieve its objective, that audit has failed to achieve its objective. So this is the audit risk. So audit risk is the risk that auditor may express inappropriate opinion when financial statements are materially misstated. So see, there are financial statements put up before an auditor for auditing. Okay, there are misstatements in it. Okay, there are many misstatements in it. So there is a probability that auditor may express inappropriate opinion if he doesn't perform the audit in accordance with standards on auditing, and he doesn't carry out all the procedures, and there are many other factors to it. So every professional, every auditor, he would like to keep the audit risk to a low level. He would, he want, he wouldn't like that his audit fails, or it does not achieve its desired objective. Okay. So this is the meaning of audit risk. Now let us come to the question. Now the question says that the auditor is not expected to and cannot reduce audit risk to zero. Now, before we try to answer it, tell me why audit risk cannot be reduced to zero? It is there in the question also. Yes. Why audit risk cannot be reduced to zero? Yes, students, you are understanding what I'm trying to convey. It should go straight into your heads. Then only you will be benefited. Try to listen carefully what I'm telling you. Yes, why audit risk cannot be reduced to zero? Yes, Ritika, Sachin, Kapil Kumar, because of inherent limitations of audit. So in this question, you have to write inherent limitations of audit. Like which are already described in your chapter 1, like nature of financial reporting and nature of procedures itself. So auditor, obviously, he performs his work on using samples. He cannot verify each and every transaction. So there is a probability that that his sample may not be truly representative, or he may apply inappropriate procedures. So these are some of the practical limitations on the audit procedure, on his work, due to the nature of audit procedures itself. And further, as you know, that auditor is not an investigator. There is a difference between audit and investigation. Okay, the auditor doesn't have power to say record statements of some employees under oath. Okay, he doesn't have such powers. He has powers to ask for information. But if somebody doesn't provide his information, then he would have to see that what are the implications for his audit report, for his opinion. He can't force that you give me this document. He can't force. So these are legal limitations on his ability to obtain audit evidence. And another thing is that there are future events also, and an entity's viability may be affected by future events. And auditing, as we know, deals with the historical information, the events which have already gone by, which have already occurred. Okay. And one of the foremost reason in respect of inherent limitations of audit is nature of financial reporting itself. Because financial statement, students, as you know, and always remember that financial statements preparation and presentation is the responsibility of the management of the entity. The auditor is not responsible for preparation of financial statements. He gives opinion on the financial statements. This is very important. This also remember this concept in your minds. Okay. So since financial statements are responsibility for preparation of financial statements is responsibility of the management or of the say owners. So obviously an entity must have developed some control, some internal control system to carry out its operations, its business, which may not always be foolproof because of the inherent limitations of the process of internal control itself. Okay. There may be collusion between the employees. So if the internal control which has been designed by the management, if it fails, then obviously the reliability of the financial statements itself suffers. Clear, students? So I am giving you brief of what is stated in your module in relation to these concepts. Yes, guys, you are getting it. Have you understood this question? Have you understood the concept? Is it clear to you? Yes, guys, quick replies fast. Now another question. Very simple. So we will not discuss it much. There is a company, it faced challenges in securing a bank loan due to doubts about the reliability of its financial statements. So the management realized the importance of having audited accounts to build confidence among lenders and stakeholders, elucidate the benefits and need of an audit. So simple, you have to write benefits of audit. What are the benefits of an audit? It is already 4-5 points. It is already explained in your module. Okay. Now this question, I have already explained it to you. So let's do it. The concept I have already explained to you. Read this question. The management of Cool Drinks Limited suspects that some employees of the company may be involved in making fraudulent payments to dummy workers at its various plants in the company. It means that there are some ghost workers, non-existent workers. So the company is making fraudulent payments to dummy workers. Okay. So only names exist and payments are being made. Therefore, they are considering appointment of a firm of auditors to conduct audit involving detailed examination of accounts. Now, the management wants that we want to get an audit conducted to find out this. However, one senior person among board members, Mr. P, objects to the use of word audit in proposed assignment. Comment how audit is different from investigation. Now tell me, students, how you would attempt this question. How you would attempt this question. What you are going to write in this question. Yes, waiting for your responses. give your responses on the mail, on the BOS mail, not in chat box, not in Zoom chat box. So we have touched upon this topic right now. Yes. Yes, students, waiting for your responses quick. Students, this is not a solo session. This session doesn't belong to me. It belongs to me and all of you. Yes, Sachin Kumar Sharma, you are writing investigation is in-depth examination and audit is not in nature of investigation. Ritika, detailed examination of accounts is audit only. See, students, here you have to highlight the difference between audit and investigation. You would write the answer in such a manner that the management of the company already suspects that there are fraudulent payments happening in the company to the dummy workers. So there is a presupposition of fraud. There is a presupposition of some wrong act being committed. Okay. So therefore, this type of work falls in the domain of investigation, not in the domain of audit, because always remember that the purpose of audit is not to dig out every fraud. The auditor performs procedures in accordance with standards on auditing. Now, these procedures are of high level. Obviously, if performed diligently, they may help in digging out fraud, but this is not the necessary condition. So if some wrongdoing is dug out by the auditor during the course of audit, it's okay. But its primary objective is not to uncover frauds. It is to express an opinion on the financial statements. Clear? Is it clear, students? Yes, students, is it clear? Yes, Ritika. Okay. Now this is a straightforward question. Mention any three standards issued under authority of ICAI Council which are collectively known as engagement standards. Now, straightforward question. Also mention the purpose of issue of these standards. Now, which standards are collectively known as engagement standards? Any three. There are four. In fact, there are four, but the question is asking any three. Yes. So tell me all the four uh, standards which are collectively known as engagement standards. Yes. Tell me the names. Quickly, students. Yes, it is there in your chapter 1. Yes. Miss Mansoori, you are saying correctly. So you have to write three standards on auditing, okay, standards on review engagements, standards on assurance engagements, okay, and fourth, standards on related services. So you would have to write the purpose of these standards also, purpose of issue of these standards. Clear, students? So related to this, students, another thing is the concept of audit and review. Now tell me, what is the difference between audit and review? Tell me, what is the difference between audit and review? And this is relevant to this question also. Ritika, SQC1, remember, SQC1 is not engagement standard. It is quality control standard. Do not make mistake. In your module, if you see clearly, it is written engagement standards and quality control standards. Okay. Engagement by the very name, it tells its very meaning. So what is engagement? Okay, tell me. First, tell me, what is the meaning of engagement? It is there in your module. It is explained in your module in chapter 1. What is the meaning of engagement? Engagement means some arrangement, some method uh, by which to perform some work. Say when we go to a lawyer, we say that we have engaged a lawyer. Similarly, when a client comes to an auditor, to a chartered accountant, it means that he is engaging us. Okay, so there is a formal agreement between the auditor and the client to provide certain services, which say may be audit, it may be review. So audit is also an engagement, review is also an engagement. Okay, and other related services like compilation work or some other kind of services, these are also a type of engagement. So these are all engagements, and different standards related to these are known as engagement standards. Is it clear? Yes. Is it clear? And Ritika, I think you are the old one. I think you were there in the 1 year before also, if I am not wrong. Why you are stuck up in this group? Or you have not appeared? Yes. So clear, students, the meaning of term engagement is clear to you, and the meaning of term engagement standards is also clear to you. Yes. Okay, Ritika, don't get disheartened. It's okay. Put in more effort and you would definitely qualify. So this concept is clear, students. Meaning of engagement standards, quality control standard, and now the difference between audit and review. Yes, can you tell me, students, what is the difference between audit and review? Yes, Ritika, my best wishes to you. You will definitely qualify. Put in a put in a lot more effort and make sure that you come out with good marks. Yes, can anybody tell difference between audit and review? And what type of engagement is reasonable assurance engagement? What is the difference between reasonable assurance engagement? What is the difference between limited assurance engagement? Both, both the concepts are interrelated. Yes. Yes, anyone, students? Quick, quick. Yes, students, probably I think nobody is responding. So my I would explain it to you. Yes, Ritika is saying now that audit provides reasonable assurance, whereas review provides limited assurance. Okay. So as you know, students, that reasonable assurance is a high level of assurance, but limited assurance is a moderate level of assurance. Okay. So what is the difference between audit and review? Audit, as you know, that auditor would perform detailed procedures. Okay. Like he would be sending external confirmations, all the procedures, you know, you have read in your chapter 4, like inspection, observation, external confirmation, inquiry, all he would be performing in accordance with the standards on auditing. Whereas in case of review, as the name suggests, he undertakes a review just. Okay, he performs less procedures, fewer in number and fewer in extent. Okay, so that is the difference between audit and review. Okay, so all the standards relating to review and the concept of review you would be studying at your CA final level. For CA intermediate, you have to understand this much. That is sufficient. Okay, and remember that audit is a reasonable assurance engagement and review is a limited assurance engagement. There is a table given in your module highlighting the difference between reasonable assurance engagement and limited assurance engagement. So you can write it in tabular form also, or you can write in some another way explaining 4 points. I think 4 points are given in your module regarding a difference between reasonable assurance engagement and uh, limited assurance engagement. So let us see that table. And students, my request to all of you is always read your study material. So this you have to write. Okay. First 2 points we have considered. Third point is that a reasonable assurance engagement draws reasonable conclusion on the basis of sufficient appropriate evidence, but limited assurance engagement draws only limited conclusions. Okay, that is why it is known as limited assurance engagement. Okay, and one last difference is that one example of reasonable assurance engagement is audit, and in case of limited assurance engagement, the example is review. So 1, 2, 3, 4, these 4 points. Say if this is a 4-mark question, so you would be, if some student write all these 4 points, he would be getting complete 4 marks. No deduction. Clear? So how simple it is, students. And I was telling you that always read the study material published by Board of Studies. I can tell you if you see the question papers of past years, even the same lines are taken from the study material as such. The point is that you have to understand the concepts and then you have to apply those concepts in the practical situations which are given to you by way of questions in the exams. So this is what you have to practice. So if you have conceptual clarity, then you can easily apply those concepts to a particular question. What is the problem then? So students, obviously one has to put effort, one has to remember the things, one has to learn the things. You won't get good marks or you won't pass just by simple cursory reading. You have to remember the things. Clear? Yes, students, is it clear? So I am asking loud. The response should also come loud through the mails. Yes. See question number 6. Read this question. Now, what does this question relate to? Which is the concept? What is the concept which it is testing? Yes. Yes, read the question. Read the question. Which concept is being tested and how you would attempt this question? Yes, students, just 2 months are left for your exams. You have to appear in September 25. So take it seriously. Yes. So the question is asking from you is, does such a matter fall within the scope of audit? So obviously you have to correlate it with the scope of audit. Now, how you are going to attempt this question? That in the past years, the company had applied one particular method of inventory valuation, but in the year under audit, they switched to another method without proper disclosure. So can is the auditor duty bound to report such things to while forming his opinion, or are such things outside the scope of audit? Yes, Kapil, perfectly on dot. You are writing correctly. So although the management is responsible for preparation of financial statements by choosing an appropriate accounting policies, but in relation to different matters, but the auditor has to see that whether a particular accounting policy has been applied consistently from one period to another, and if not, if there is some change, then obviously he has to see that the change is made with the disclosure. it definitely falls within the scope of audit. Yes, Julie Kumari, yes, you are also right. Clear? So let us go to first question. It is also related to the same topic. Now see this question. Read this question, students. It is also related to scope of audit. Yes, question number 1C, students. So this company has several ongoing projects, but only selected project revenues have been reported. So the company has several projects, but it is reporting revenue only of select projects, not of all projects. Several expense vouchers are either missing or are handwritten and lack proper authorization. The company has changed depreciation method from SLM to WDV without disclosure. The same point which we have considered just now. These matters were brought to the attention of management. However, management argued that these issues fall outside the auditor's scope of responsibility. Whether contention of management is correct? So how you are going to answer? You would say that the contention of management is not correct. These these matters fall within the scope of audit. Okay. So number one, like audit is concerned with all aspects of an entity. So you can see in your module first point, which is written in the scope of audit, is that coverage of all aspects of an entity. So here only selected project revenues have been reported. Other revenues have not been reported at all. Okay, so auditor is definitely concerned with all aspects of an entity. Several expense vouchers are either missing or handwritten. Okay, so it means that the source data on the basis of which books of accounts are made, are prepared, that is not proper. There is no proper authorization. So obviously such a work also falls within the scope of audit, within the scope of auditor. And the last one is the similar relating to change in method of depreciation, like change in method of valuation of inventories, which we have done in last question. So proper disclosure is necessary. So all these things fall within the scope of audit. Okay. So what you would do, how you are going to answer? Okay. So you would write all these 3 points. First, you would explain these points: coverage of all aspects of entity, reliability and sufficiency of financial information. And third is proper disclosure of financial information. So remember, and then you would add one para that in the given case that the entity is showing only revenues of select projects, not of all projects. And the reliability and sufficiency of financial information is in doubt. Okay, because proper bills, vouchers are not there. These are without authorization. So it falls within the scope of audit to see that the information contained in underlying accounting records is reliable and sufficient for preparation of financial statements. So this way you have to write. First, you would write these 3 points, and then Explain it by correlating it with the question. Clear, students? How to write? So when you sit and write, you would say it would be not more than 10-15 lines at the max. This is also maximum if you can write. Okay. Yes, see question 3. Standards on auditing apply in audit of historical financial information, whereas standards on review engagements apply in review of historical financial information. Explain in detail giving examples. So obviously you have to write that, as I have already explained, that essays apply in audit of historical financial information, and you would give examples of names of certain centers on auditing, like SA 200, SA 500, SA 315, SA 700, and so on. You can write 4, 5, and uh, similarly, you can state certain standards on review engagement. Okay. See this question. Question number 4. Now it is about the meaning of assurance engagement. As we know, students, that audit is an assurance engagement. An auditor provides assurance. He provides reasonable assurance. Okay. Yes. So Kriti, a CA student, has joined articles in a reputed audit firm. She considers audit engagement to be an assurance engagement. Obviously, she is right. Audit is an assurance engagement. But her understanding is that audit engagement is the only kind of assurance engagement in which the practitioner gives a written assurance report in appropriate form. However, her friend Somaya doesn't agree with her. She is of the view that assurance engagements are not restricted to audit alone. Besides, Somaya also thinks that assurance engagements can relate to matters other than historical financial information, whose view appears to be correct. State with reasons. Yes, students, tell me whose view appears to be correct. Soumya or Kriti, and why? What is the reason? Assurance engagement is explained in detail in your module. You have learned 5 elements of assurance engagement, like 3 responsible parties, subject matter, suitable criteria, sufficient, appropriate. Audit evidence, written report. Yes, Kapil, you are right. So tell me whether Soumya's viewpoint is right or Kriti's viewpoint is right. So as you see, students, if you have learned the concepts, if you have understood the concepts, the application becomes quite easy. Yes. Yes. So Ritika, you are please do not make mistakes. Now you have to write that Kriti is not completely right. Her understand, because here it is written, her understanding is that audit engagement is the only kind of assurance engagement. It is not the only kind of assurance engagement. You have to say that Kriti's viewpoint is not correct. Audit engagement is not the only kind of assurance engagement. Review, and there are other assurance engagements also, like review engagements, like as Somya is telling, like assurance engagements involving prospective financial information, which are related to forecasts, which are related to future projections. Okay. So Kriti is not completely right. So Somaya's view is correct. Clear? Now see this again. It is a basic fundamental concept. So again, you have to state the objectives of audit as per SA 200, and also explain why auditor can provide only reasonable rather than absolute assurance. Because see, if you first, I'm giving you 1 minute, read this these two paras, then we will discuss. Read these two paras of question 5. Yes. Yes, students, and make it a habit to read quickly and correctly. Make it a habit. Do not get burdened that I have to read such a long narration, such a long paragraph. Make it a habit. Yes, yes, guys. Have you read these two paras? Now, in the context of given situation, you have to explain why the auditor can provide only reasonable rather than absolute assurance. Because of the nature of financial reporting itself. As I've told you, here the internal controls which were designed and implemented by the management to ensure reliability of financial information, these have been bypassed. These have not worked. These have not prevented a fraud from happening. Okay. So therefore we say that uh, that the auditor cannot provide cannot provide absolute assurance. He only provides reasonable assurance. Yes, clear. Yes, Miss Mansoori, you are writing correctly. Aks Banu Mansoori, yes. Inherent limitation, collusion among employees. So you obviously, so students, now try to visualize that you are in examination condition and this question comes to you. Obviously, you would be able to write only 5-7 lines. That would be sufficient. Yes, Ritika, yes, you are also right. Now, this is straightway. You have to explain the types of assurance engagements. Yes, Kapil Kumar, it also relates to scope, and it also relates to one of the inherent limitations of audit. More appropriately, it relates to uh, one of the inherent limitations of audit. Okay. So three examples of assurance engagements. So reasonable assurance engagement, audit, limited assurance engagement review, and all these we have discussed right now. Now see this question. Read this question, and this is the demand of the question. Yes. Read this question, students. Key differences between prospective financial information and historical financial information. Now, this is explained in detail in your module. The difference between historical financial information and prospective financial information. Yes, tell me. Who can tell me what is the difference between historical financial information and prospective financial information? Yes, students, waiting for your responses. Yes, Shaina has written something. Historical financial information is related to past events. That is correct, which have already occurred, and prospective financial information is a future events and based on assumptions. Okay, you have missed some points, Shaina, as far as prospective financial information is concerned. Yes, anybody else? But your intent and the basic thing is right, Shaina. Yes. So like students, like when we conduct audit, then all the financial information which is there in the financial statements, it relates to events which have already occurred, which have already taken place, like purchases have already taken place, sales have already taken place, payments have been received, payments have been made, expenses have been incurred. और क्या? Okay, machinery has been installed, building has been constructed. So it it has already been done. Okay. So that is why we say that audit is related to historical financial information. And what is prospective financial information? Prospective financial information means where financial information, say, is related to certain forecasts, certain projections. So obviously the auditor would not be able to give his opinion on the forecast, on the projection, or to state that these are achievable. Rather, he would be providing assurance on the assumptions, that whether the assumptions which have been followed in preparation of such forecasts are proper or not. Okay, clear? So this topic is also explained in detail in your module, students. historical financial information and prospective financial information. Yes, here it is. Historical financial information we have already discussed, and prospective financial information relates to future events. While evidence may be available to support the assumptions on which prospective information is based, such evidence is generally future oriented. Therefore, the auditor is not in a position to express opinion as to whether results shown in prospective financial information will be achieved. He won't be able to express opinion that this projection, this results, this projected, say, profit, projected turnover is achievable. So the practitioner provides a report to suggest that nothing has come to his notice to suggest that these assumptions on the basis of which this forecast is made doesn't provide a reasonable basis for projection. Okay. So the difference between the type of assurance provided in audit and in assurance engagements related to prospective financial information is that in case of audit, the auditor provides reasonable assurance, which is a high level of assurance, whereas in such type of engagements, the auditor gives only a moderate level of assurance. Clear? Yes, friends, clear? Now see this question. Again, we have done this topic. I have already explained to you. Yes, students, come on quickly. We have to complete second chapter also. Yes, whether the auditor's objection is right or not, tell me. Please send your responses on BOS mail, not in chat box, please. Yes, Kapil, yes, you are right. So the auditor's objection is perfectly right. As I had told you that again, same concept. This concept is coming. Now, the same concept and the formed in a different way to test your knowledge, to see whether situations. As I told you that the auditor is not responsible for his sole objective is not detection of frauds. His objective is to obtain reasonable assurance that financial statements are free from material misstatements, whether due to errors or frauds. Now, during this course, he may come across frauds. But to say so that you are responsible for the detection of frauds as an auditor is not true. Clear, this point is very, very important, students. Again, you might have heard a line that auditor is a watchdog, not a bloodhound. Okay, he is a watchdog, not a bloodhound. Clear? So this question, these 2-3 questions are straight away from your module. The solutions are also given. These are given in your tests you are understanding. Okay. So if any student has doubt in these questions, he can ask from me. Otherwise, you can see these from your module. The solution is also given. Yes, students. Anything which you have failed to understand in chapter 1? Yes. So before going into break, let us begin chapter 2 also. So chapter 2, as students, you already know, deals with audit planning, audit strategy, audit plan, and audit program. These are three different terms which are used in this chapter. So tell me the name of the essay which deals with the audit planning. Yes. Yes. Tell me the name of standard on auditing which deals with the planning and audit of financial statements. Yes. Essay 300. Yes. Ms. Mansoori and Kapil Kumar, you both are right. Essay 300. Now tell me, students, why planning and audit is necessary? Can you list out some of its benefits? Why planning and audit is necessary or beneficial? Yes, guys, quickly. Yes, Ritika helps to identify and resolve potential problems. What else? Some other points? Yes, anybody else? What are the benefits of planning and audit? Yes, proper attention to important areas, Kapil Kumar, that is also right. Supervision of work, that is supervision and monitoring of work, that is also important point. So students, remember that planning and audit is necessary so that audit is conducted in an effective and timely manner. Now, what is the meaning of effective here? When we say that audit should be effective, what is the meaning of it? This, yes, you have written some points regarding the benefits of planning. All of you are right. Ritika, you are saying effective is within the deadlines. Yes. Yeah, Kapil, yes, you are dot on. To achieve the desired results. That is the correct explanation. So when we say something is effective, it means that the purpose for which it was being done, it is able to achieve that purpose. So if the audit is able to achieve its objective, then we say that it is effective. Like if some misstatements are there in the financial statements, and the auditor expresses opinion in the light of those misstatements, he finds those misstatements and he expresses opinion in light of those misstatements which are not corrected by the management. So obviously the audit is an effective audit. So that is the meaning of effective. When we say something is effective, it means that it is giving the desired result. Clear? So students, I am trying to explain you the things in layman's language, so that the concepts become crystal clear to you. So read this question number 1. So what you have to write? Yes. Yes, what you would write in this question, in answer to this question? Yes, students. You have read the question. So obviously you have to write the benefits of audit planning, which you have already, many of you have already written, which are given in your module at the first page. Helping the auditor to devote appropriate attention to important areas, helping the auditor identify and resolve potential problems on different areas, helping him organize audit engagement, assisting in selection of engagement team, and all these. Clear? Yes, guys. Now, students, audit planning, as you know, consists of two parts. One is preliminary engagement activities. And another is planning activities. So planning activities, as you already know, consists of establishing audit strategy and developing audit plan. Okay. So tell me, what do we mean by preliminary engagement activities? Yes. Tell me, students, what do we mean by preliminary engagement activities? What is included in preliminary engagement activities performed by auditor in accordance with SA 300? Yes. Yes, guys, come on. Yes, anyone, students, your mails are not coming. Is the server slow or you are stuck up somewhere? Yes, students. Yes, Ritika, you are writing preliminary. Ritika, and write correct words. The word is not preliminary activities. It is preliminary engagement activities. Make it a habit to write the correct terms. Okay. So preliminary engagement activities is done before accepting the audit, in which you acquire knowledge about the client and their business. Yes. Whether to continue or accept the audit engagement. Yes, it is also true. So basically, three things are done by the auditor in preliminary engagement activities. These are the three things: performing procedures regarding continuance of the client relationship. Say, what does this mean? Say if there is an existing client for 3 years. Now you have to see whether in fourth year you want to continue relationship with this client or not. You would perform certain procedure. Okay. Or if it is a new client, you would see that whether at the first stage you would like to accept this client or not. Okay. Second is evaluating compliance with ethical requirements, including independence. So you would see that you remain independent, that you comply with all the ethical requirements, that there are no breaches to your independence, because otherwise your opinion would become vitiated. And because, why? Because an audit, by definition, as you know, is an independent examination of financial information of an entity, which you have read in your chapter 1. First line of your module states that audit is an independent examination. So you have read this concept of independence, touching reference in this chapter, chapter 1. Also, you have read it in chapter 11. Okay, you know that that auditor has not to act upon the instructions of somebody else. He has to give his opinion independently, not subordinate to others. These things you have read. And establishing an understanding of terms of engagement, that whatever the terms of engagement uh, have been arrived at, you have to see that the terms of engagement are clear to the client, and these are not misunderstood. Okay, so all these three things are included in preliminary engagement activities. This is quite an important term, and few times question has come. You have to write 3 points. Say if this is a 4 mark question, you would be writing these points and would be getting full credit. Okay, so what was the question? That preliminary engagement activities include certain activities to be performed by an auditor while planning on audit. Discuss these activities and how performing such activities assists an auditor. Now, how this is going to help the auditor? Now, performing such activities, preliminary engagement activities, assist auditor in identifying and evaluating events that may affect auditor's ability to plan and perform the audit. Because if such activities are not undertaken, say if the auditor doesn't check that whether he is independent or not, whether he remains independent or not. So obviously he would not be able to plan on or perform effective audit. Clear, students? So this is how performance of procedures relating to preliminary engagement activities helps the auditor, assist the auditor. So you have to write the answer to the question in this manner. Clear? Yes, students, clear? Yes, guys, is it clear to you? So, I think we shall take a short break, very short break for 5 minutes, and we'll come back. Do not go away, students. Do not go away because in the end, you can interact with me also. So break for 5 minutes. Okay. Yes, Manish, you can start. Yes, welcome back, students. So now we come to question number 3. So read this question, students. The assistant of CAK is assigned responsibility of drafting audit program relating to purchases appearing in financial statements of broad industries, a partnership firm. So there is a partnership firm, and the CA says to the assistant that prepare a draft program. So let us see how whether you can prepare a draft audit program or not related to purchases only. So the said firm is a GST registered taxpayer and is engaged in manufacturing of packing boxes from a special type of paper taxable under GST. So the raw material is taxable under GST. So firm is registered taxpayer. Help him by drafting a sample audit program for purchases. So what is the meaning of audit program, students? What is the meaning? What is your understanding of the audit program? What is the definition of audit program? Yes. Yes, anyone? What do you understand by an audit program? Yes, students, and also tell me whether I have been able to help you in understanding the concepts, whether the things are going into your head or not. Yes. And to say in the language of auditing, whether I have been effective in making you understand the things or not. Because if I am not effective, then whole purpose is defeated, isn't it? Yes, friends. Waiting for your responses. Yes, Ritika, series of verification steps that is to be applied on financial statements. Verification steps. These are series of verification steps. So obviously, a sample audit program, students, is given at the end of this chapter, chapter 2. Okay, relating to, I think, sales. Now, in this question, what is asked is purchase. So you have to uh, attempt this in this format. You would state, write sample audit program relating to purchases, name of concern, financial year, prepared by, reviewed by, and approved by. This is how the things work. And this is the table, nature of procedure, extent of check, basis of sample done by. So obviously you have to write 4 or 5 steps in relation to purchases, like vouch few purchase invoices of paper, because it is stated in the question that raw material is paper from purchase records. Okay, so what you are testing, you are performing, you are required to perform tests of transactions. Okay, trace these invoices into account books, and then you would see that these invoices are entered in the relevant head in the purchase account. Verify few purchase invoices of paper on GST portal, because it is given that firm is a GST registered taxpayer. So obviously it is purchasing raw material from taxable raw material from the suppliers who are registered under GST. So the purchase invoices are would be appearing on the GST portal. Okay, trace few purchase invoices into the stock records. So this you have to write. Like these four steps, similar steps are given in relation to sales, but in the question which is there, it is asked in respect of purchases. So read the question carefully and see what is the requirement, what is being asked. Okay. Yes, next question. CAN engagement partner of LPS and Associates is planning for audit of a large company. As part of preliminary engagement activities being performed, he wants to ensure that compliance with independence requirements is adhered. Now, how he shall form a conclusion that audit firm complies with independence requirements? What he is supposed to do? What he is supposed to do to see that his firm and all the personnel comply with the independence requirements? Yes, it is there in your module. Yes, students. Anyone? Any point which you can remember, students? Students, this is the basic purpose of revisionary classes, to help you revise the things, to help you recapitulate the concepts, to help you recapitulate the terms, recapitulate the points. Yes, anyone, students? Nobody. So obviously, how you are going to ensure that your firm and personal comply with the independence requirements? Obviously, you would share, uh, you would ask from the firm to identify and evaluate the circumstances that create threats to independence. You would seek information and evaluate information on breaches, assess whether there are any breaches to the independence requirements or not, and lastly, take appropriate action to eliminate such threats or reduce them to an acceptable level. Okay, like say if you are auditor of a company and say your firm is say auditor of a company and say the engagement partner has acquired the relative of some engagement partner has acquired some shares of the company during the year. So you become aware of such a situation by getting the information from the engagement partner. Then you would see whether it is permitted or not, holding of such share is permitted or not, whether it would constitute a threat, how you are going to eliminate that threat to an acceptable level. Okay. So these 3 points are given. Yes. Another question on audit program. Yes. ATL Private Limited, a leading manufacturing company, appointed CA Atul as an auditor for year 23-24. Given the complexity of company's operation and need for a systematic approach, he plans to design a detailed audit program to ensure the accuracy of financial assertions. As a CA students, what are the points you will keep in mind? Yes, students. So how you are going to attempt this question? Which points are to be kept in mind while preparing an audit program? And before we discuss this, tell me whether it is possible to frame one standard audit program for all type of concerns, for all type of entities. First, answer this question. Yes. Yes. That's correct, Kapil. It should be written. And Mansuri, Miss Mansuri, you are saying yes, no. Probably you are saying that it is not possible to devise a standard audit program for all concerns because there is difference in nature of business. There are differences in legal structures of business. There are differences in their regulatory environments. Okay, there are different firms. Some are in say manufacturing activities. Some are in trading activities. Some are in service industries. Some are in construction projects. Okay, so one audit program is not practicable for all type of entities. It has to be tailor made uh, considering the entity, its nature of business. So for the purpose of audit program, the following points should be kept in mind. So all these points are written in your module. So one thing you can take it from me, students, that whatever you have to write in your paper, it would be the answer of it would be available in your module. So if you have prepared well, you have to see from where I have to apply this concept. So it should be right there in your mind where all things are where all things are there in a particular chapter. Okay, so stay within the scope and limitation of assignment. Obviously, prepare a written audit program like Kapil was setting because the audit program itself sets forth the procedures. So prepare a written audit program listing the procedures to implement the audit plan. Determine the evidence reasonably available, and identify the best evidence. Okay, so you have to see that the what is the best evidence available. Okay, so what is the meaning of available here, friends? Available doesn't mean that some records which the client puts it for you, so and says that this is available. The auditor has to decide that what is available evidence, what should be the available evidence in a particular situation for verifying some assertion. Okay, so apply those steps and procedures. So again, related to all. So first you would set out those steps. You would determine the evidence and apply those steps and procedures for accomplishing the verification purpose. Include the audit objectives for each area. Consider all possibilities of error because it is how you would decide upon sample. Okay. So these are the points you would be writing, which are to be kept in mind for framing audit program. And students, as I had told you that audit planning includes performing preliminary engagement activities and planning activities. And planning activities in turn is divided into establishing an overall audit strategy and developing an audit plan. Now tell me, what does an audit strategy deal with? Yes. And what is included in audit plan? Now these two things are basic in this chapter, which you have always to keep in mind. You have never to forget. Yes, audit strategy deals with what? And audit plan deals with what? This is how you will be able to distinguish between audit strategy and audit plan. Yes. Yes, anyone, what is included in an audit plan and what does audit strategy deal with? Yes, Miss Akspanu Mansuri, you are writing scope, timing, and direction of audit. Perfectly dot on. That is perfectly right. So remember, these are the key words. So the paper checker would be looking for, he would be hunting for these keywords. So prepare such words by making acronyms like STD, scope, timing, and direction of audit. And what does an audit plan deal with? Yes, Ritika, you are writing nature, timing, and extent of what? Nature, timing, and extent तो लिख दिया रितिका, but of what? Yes, yes. Come on, students. Yes, tell me. Yes, Kapil Kumar, you are writing correctly. Nature, timing, and extent of risk assessment procedures, and nature, timing, and extent of planned further audit procedures. So nature, timing, and extent of planned risk assessment procedures, and nature, timing, and extent, you can remember it as NTE. Do not write these words in an incorrect manner. Do not use any word, any other word in place of extent or in place of nature. Okay. So in audit plan are included nature, timing, and extent of planned risk assessment procedures and planned further procedures. Now, what is the meaning here of nature and what is the meaning here of extent? Yes, can anybody tell? What is the meaning of nature here? Nature of planned risk assessment procedures, say if I say, or nature of further audit procedures, then what is the meaning of nature here? Yes, anybody? Nature. Yes, Kapil Kumar, you are right. Type. What kind of procedures are being planned? Okay. Say whether these are analytical procedures, whether it is an inspection, it is an observation. Okay. And what is the meaning of extent? What is the meaning of extent here? Extent of further audit procedures. What does it mean? Yes, extent means how much. Now it is related to which concept? How much means it is related to which auditing concept? Yes, yes, Kapil. Yes, Kapil, I am expecting it from you. You are saying how much limit. So it is related to which concept of auditing, which terminology in audit. Yes. So Akshmanu Mansuri, Kapil has explained it. Sampling, sample size selection, extent, how much checking is to be performed. That is related to sampling. This is the meaning of extent. Clear? Yes. Ms. Mansuri, is it clear to you? So the things, the basic things should be crystal clear to you. Nature means type, timing, you already know time, when to be performed. And extent means extent of checking, how much large or small a sample should be. Okay. And I think you already know the meaning of risk assessment procedures. Anyway, we shall be discussing this in chapter 3. For the time being, if anybody can tell what do we mean by risk assessment procedures? A passing reference is also given in chapter 2 to the risk assessment procedures. Yes. What are risk assessment procedures? Yes, anyone? No, okay, that's fine. Ms. Mansuri, observation, inspection, and analytical procedures. You are writing correctly. These are names of procedures, but I am asking from you the meaning of risk assessment procedures. So basically, what do we mean by risk assessment procedures? What is their purpose? Yes. Yes, students, anybody? Yes, Ritika, you are right. So the purpose of risk assessment procedure is to identify and assess and assess the risks of material misstatements by understanding the entity and its controls. Okay, so we shall be discussing this in detail in chapter 3. Yes, see this question, CA Tina. So what should be the answer? Read this question. CA Tina, the auditor of Sky Limited, asks its finance and audit head to prepare audit strategy for conducting audit of Sky Limited. So the CA is asking finance head to prepare the audit strategy for audit of Sky Limited. For the very company for which she is the auditor, she is asking its finance head to prepare the audit strategy. Tina also insists him to draw detailed audit procedures. In response to auditor's request, the finance head completes the audit strategy as well as audit procedures. So subsequently, the auditor realizes that effectiveness of audit is compromised. Comment. Now, what would you would be commenting? Whose responsibility is it to prepare the audit strategy? Is it responsibility of the auditor? Is it responsibility of company's finance head or company's management? Yes, damn simple. Yes, definitely, Ritika. Banu, it is a responsibility of the auditor. Auditor is himself, Julie Kumari, is responsible for preparing audit strategy. Okay. So if this type of work is given to the finance head, then what is the effectiveness of where is the effectiveness of audit left? You have to write that responsibility for establishing audit strategy and preparing audit plan remains with the auditor. It is the auditor who is responsible for doing these things. Okay. However, the auditor can discuss some elements of planning, like, look, we shall conduct your audit, we shall be coming from time to time, we shall be undertaking such kind of things, we shall be undertaking such kind of procedures, okay, without compromising effectiveness of audit. But you don't have to share such details which may have some surprise element and which can compromise the effectiveness of audit. But broad contours you can discuss with the management. Okay. Yes, Shaina, you are writing correctly. So now this question, as an auditor of CRT Limited, a construction company, you are preparing an audit program. Okay. So the question asks you to explain the advantages of audit program. A very simple, direct question. Advantages of audit program, students. So list some advantages of an audit program. Yes, write 2, 3 points, 3, 4 points regarding advantages of an audit program. Yes, come on, guys, quickly. It is already 12 minutes past 8. Yes, principal can track the progress of work done by the assistant. That is one advantage. Other advantages, there are many advantages. Write few of them so that you will be able to remember also. Yes, Shaina, you are setting provide assistant clear set of instructions. That is also correct. What other provides total perspective? Ritika, that is also correct. Makes individual responsible for work. Kapil Kumar, that is also correct. So all of you are correct. So 4, 5, 6, the advantages of audit program which are written in your module. So you can write this. So this question, next question, this is again regarding the need to plan an audit. Read this question, then we will quickly discuss its answer. J and Associates is appointed as an auditor. The company is having multiple branches. CAJ is conducting audit of financial statements. As auditor, GA is responsible for planning an audit. Briefly explain why it is necessary to plan the audit. So why? Same, because it helps the auditor. The same question number 1, benefits of planning an audit. So the same concept tested by making two different type of situations. So benefits of planning you have to write. Just relate the concepts. Just apply the concepts which you have learned. And the most important thing is, by first reading the question, you should understand that what is the requirement of the question and write only relevant points, relevant matter. Because if you write stories or irrelevant matters, then you would be given no credit, simple cross and 0. So in this question, you have to state the considerations, the factors which are considered by the auditor in establishing an audit strategy. It is a direct question. Like an auditor considers the characteristics of the engagement, what type of engagement it is, whether the entity is having components, what is the regulatory environment, what are the laws applicable, ascertain the reporting objectives of the engagement, and it's to plan the timing, like say in what time the audit has to be completed, whether there are any regulatory requirements. So all these are given in your module. These 4, 5 points, all which are there in your module, which you have to write. In fact, each of these points is explained in your module in quite detail. Okay. Now see this question. CAD is planning an audit of a listed company. List specific documentation requirements in accordance with SA 300 in relation to planning such an audit. How such planning documentation is useful. Now documentation you already know. You have read SA 230, audit documentation, that auditor has to document all the things. He has to maintain a record of many things. Okay. So what are the specific documentation requirement in relation to audit planning? Now, can you recall Can you recall those requirements in relation to planning and audit, and how such planning documentation is useful? Yes, anyone? Yes, students. Yes. Oh, Ritika, you are writing advantage. This advantage is okay. But what is the specific documentation in relation to planning and audit? The auditor has to document the audit strategy, the audit plan, and changes made to these during the course of audit. This he has to document specifically. Okay. Yes, students, now we shall like to open the Zoom interactive session. So if you are having any queries, you can ask. Yes, Manish. हाँ, अनम्यूट कर दो, कोई पूछना चाहते? Yes, students, those who are on Zoom, they can ask from me any query relating to these chapters, chapter 1 and 2, or if you have any difficulty in writing answers, in understanding the concepts, you can come on Zoom and ask. Yes, Ritika.
Sir, good evening. Sir, I have given May 25 attempts. Sir, the problem I faced then was, sir, that one day of revision, I had 3 copies and 2 modules. So I was unable to read everything. So I just read, I think, one copy and one module, maybe that second one, and that only time I had. So I want you to ask, I want ask to कि कैसे होगा सर वो क्रिस्प कैसे करे
Yes,
बिकॉज मेरे से
Ritika.
crisp नहीं होता।
Ritika, the point is that you should have revised more than what you have done. Say if you have say how the method of preparation goes. First time you go through a chapter, okay, then you get an idea of something, you learn some concepts, then you have to remember the concepts, then you have to remember the key terms, you have to remember the various points. This process again takes sufficient time. Then again, after doing that, suppose this process is taking 2 days for a chapter, then for once you are done with it, when you would revise it in next leg, it would take just half day. And when you would again revise it in another leg, the period would come to just 1 hour. And in the examination conditions, in the during the exams, you would need only 15 to 20 minutes to to go through a small chapter like say chapter 1 or chapter 2. And this is the way you have to prepare in such way. You have to revise at least 3-4 times before the exams, so that the ultimate time to pursue that chapter, during examinations is considerably reduced.
Yes, sir. So
Is it
I have
clear?
to revise it 2-3 times, and I have revised only say 2 times. Once during the class and second.
So it means you have to revise more.
Yes, sir. Have to revise more. Okay, sir.
Yes. Okay, Kapil. Yes. Any students, any other student who has any query? So Ritika, this is a natural process. Obviously, when you are doing something for the first time, it is going to take time. Second time, it would take less time. Third time, it would take much lesser time. Yes. Yes, any query from other students? Yes, students, we are here to help you.
Sir,
Any other?
how to simplify the case scenario cases, sir? Objective MCQ type. We are
Yes,
confusing.
please tell your name.
Manivannan.
Yes, so, sir, you seem to be a senior person.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm
So please,
60, retired from service, sir.
okay. So you are retired from where?
MSME department, sir, Tamil Nadu.
Acha, okay. MSME Department, Tamil Nadu. That's great, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
So, sir, as I have been telling you, first you have to gain mastery over concepts by reading the modules, by reading the study material. And when you have obtained a level of precision by revising all the chapters, then you would find the ease in reading the case studies, in reading the case scenarios, because all the concepts, all the terms which are used in the case scenarios, these are technical terms. These are taken from modules, and in module the material has been taken from standards on auditing. So obviously it makes the terms or phrases which are used in case scenarios uh, quite cumbersome for a lay person. But to a person who has gone through these chapters, has understood these concepts well, he would find it very easy.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yes, any other query? Any other doubts relating to chapter 1 or chapter 2, or any other query relating to preparation strategy, relating to way of writing questions, or relating to time management? Yes, students. Yes, students, any doubts in fundamentals? Yes, students, or should I take one more question if you do not have any doubts?
So you can take one more question, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So see this question. Messrs PP and Company, a firm of CA, has been conducting audit of one company since last 4 years. Now this company has diversified their business into newer areas during the last year. The senior member of audit team handed over the standard audit program of earlier years to the audit assistants and instructed them to follow the same. The assistants are conducting the audit accordingly, whether the attitude of audit assistants is justified. Now the question is asking from you, not whether the principle is correct or not. The examiner is asking from you whether the attitude of audit assistants is justified or not. Guide them. So what you are going to write, it is also in your module. Yes. What the principal has done, what the auditor has done, obviously it is not okay. But whether the question is asking whether the attitude of audit assistants is justified. Yes, Ritika, that's true. Different audit programs require different businesses. Yes, you are writing there should be different audit programs. But the question is asking about the attitude of audit assistants. So see first what is the relevant requirement of the question. So how you are going to explain it? Yes, anyone? Nobody? So students, the audit assistant has to keep an open mind. So first of all, the auditor is wrong. He should have framed an audit program keeping in view the nature of the entity. Program should be altered, and the assistant has to keep an open mind beyond the program given to him. He should not take shelter behind an wrongly framed audit program. If something significant comes to his notice, he should say it to the principal. Therefore, the attitude of assistants is not justified. They should keep an open mind and go beyond the program to take care of the newer areas into which the company has diversified. Clear? Yes, students, again, I am asking from you before closing the session, whether you are having any doubts on chapter 1 or chapter 2, please let me know. Any concepts in which you lack understanding? So I think everybody is well versed with all the concepts and topics of chapter 1 and 2, and we have done sufficient questions of both these chapters. So we shall be meeting again, students, on day after tomorrow to do some more questions relating to chapter 3 and to revise and understand the concepts, various terms, various concepts relating to chapter 3 in accordance with SA 315, SA 320, SA 330. Okay, so we shall be discussing all those things on coming Saturday. So thanks a lot, students. Thank you. Thank you and good night. Session is over. Yes.